Part 2 of Genshin Impact's version 4.5 update is just around the corner, literally just a couple of days away. And we did get the actual updates to what the banners are going to look like for this part 2 for both Neuvilette and Kazuha. So of course, as I always freaking do after these have been put out there, I try to give you a should you summon, and I think that this one is going to be one of the hardest ones yet. And there's a lot of factors that come into play for this, so be prepared. Some takes I might have, some of you might not agree with, but who knows? I'm just saying. Anyways, before we get into that, check out the new lighting. Isn't this great to have like better lighting now? I actually just bought a new key light and it works amazingly. Let me know in the comments down below if it looks better. Definitely want to hear your opinions on that. But of course, if you like the content, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button down below and let me know in the comments what you think about today's video. And of course, don't forget I'm sponsored by the ever wonderful Gamer Subs. Make sure you use code TYSTRA for 10% off. Of course, we just got the Fastball cup and all that exclusive merch. It just came out and I think it looks pretty dang cool. So without any further delay, let's go ahead and talk about today's video. That's right, we are talking about these Neuvillette and Kazuha banners here, and this is from Twitter, so I don't want anybody getting confused. These are official. So let's first talk about the 4 stars, because this is where I think part of the controversy for me is going to really just kind of make these very, very tough. First, let's talk about Barbara. Barbara is free to play, right? So it's really easy to just say no. I do want to give a little bit of a devil's advocate for Barbara though. And the only reason why I want to give devil's advocate to Barbara is because she's not terrible. She's aged very poorly, but if you're still new to the game and you C6 her, you get to revive a character. That's pretty dang cool. Basically what happens is, if let's say you're DPS, like let's say you're running a Neuvillette and your Barbara here is in your party, right? Your Neuvillette passes on somehow, some way. One of the better self-sustaining units somehow just passes on to the great afterlife. Boom, Barbara just instantly heals him and he's like, hey, yo, I was about to be isekai'd into Honkai Star Rail. You know, no, that's not going to be the case. Barbara just, you know, helped that out. A really cool ability, but I still don't think that she is one of those units you absolutely need. There are better healers, and the fact that you have to rely on one, getting a C6 Barbara, I don't know what I was doing there, rock on, click, you know, too sweet me. But one, relying on Barbara by getting her to C6, if you only pulled one of her, technically like you get her for free, but if you're relying on getting 6 more Barbaras, that's a problem. In my opinion, I don't think that you should worry about C6ing every single unit. And I feel that that's where Barbara like really just kind of brings down the energy. And 2, the fact that you only get that revive ability at C6 is kind of a problem. Her burst healing is not too bad, but overall she's going to be a thumbs down for me. Let's go ahead and talk about the best of the 3 4 stars here. Xingqiu. Xingqiu is still meta. Xingqiu is insanely good. The fact that you're able to use him with so many different DPSs is just phenomenal. I think he still kind of works with Neuvillette here, but I could be wrong, because I personally have not used Xingqiu with Neuvillette. I do want to try it out because I think it could be cool, but I think his charge attack would work, but I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments down below if you've tested it. Let me know how you feel. But even regardless, if let's say you don't go for Neuvillette and you already have a DPS like Hu Tao or Yoimiya, Vaporize is so good to have Xingqiu with. Just amazing. You don't need Yelan. I think honestly in some cases he can do more damage than Yelan depending on how you build them. But Xingqiu is just so freaking good at any level, in my personal opinion. So Xingqiu, even though he's been in the game forever, for new players, he's a thumbs up. If you still haven't C6'd your Xingqiu, that's a thumbs up. If you have C6'd your Xingqiu, then yes, it's a thumbs down, in my opinion. Let's go ahead and talk about Yanfei, right? Yanfei here, I think is highly underrated. And the only reason why I say that is because she is a Pyro DPS in a world of Pyro DPSs. You have Hu Tao, you have Yoimiya. Honestly, most likely, Arlecchino is going to be a DPS. That's probably what's going to happen. I do not see Arlecchino being a support character. Like, it wouldn't make any sense for her, as she is a harbinger and she looks like a total badass. So in a world of pyro DPSs, she gets overlooked a lot. I will say though, she is a lot of fun and I've loved using her in the past. I think that she works really, really well with Kazuha, same with Xingqiu. But I do think that she's the middle ground of these three. Barbara's the weakest, Yanfei is just that middle ground, and Xingqiu is the up there. So honestly, unless you haven't pulled Yanfei, it's a middle for me. If you pulled Yanfei, you don't really need to worry too much. I think it's her C2 that makes her really, really good, but at least you don't have to C6 her like Barbara. I'm just saying. Let's go ahead and talk about the... Sorry, so I don't tick off a couple of people in my comments section. One of the best support characters in the game. Honestly, top 5 character in the game, in my personal opinion. And if you argue with it, I'm just saying, I really don't know how you're thinking that. He's still abundantly not really needed, but abundantly in the top, because he's always used in Spiral Abyss. He's always used for a lot of different comp teams. He's just really that dang good. He is the best Animo character right now. I highly think that. Now, is Animo the best like element? I don't think so, but with the fact that you have swirl reactions, makes Kazuha just that dang good. His whole kit is just made perfect. And if you C1 him, you literally don't have to worry about using a Favonius sword at all. Like, you literally could just run Iron Sting or what was the other one? I'm losing out on this. It was one of the free-to-play swords. It was the Red Umbrella, I think it was. I could be wrong on that. But there's a couple of other weapons that you could use on him now instead of having to worry about that Favonius sword to get that second E. And to be honest with you, I think he's just that dang perfect. And most of the people that I have, known for a long time, we still all stand Kazuha. Hell, even a lot of different bigger content creators still think that Kazuha is one of the best supports in the game. I just can't disagree. I don't see any way of saying that he's worse than the other supports in regards to that. Now, if you put support outside of like shielders and healers, then you might have like some fighting, like Zhongli being a great shielder, or like Kokomi being a great healer. There's other characters that work specifically, but I think Kazuha is just that bread, or that butter to the bread that's needed, in my opinion. So Kazuha gets a massive thumbs up. He's definitely one of those characters that you should always go for and should be in your list of characters, right? Speaking of characters that are in the top 5, Neuvillette is literally the best DPS in the game. I'm sorry. It's just the truth. His kit is just so good that I literally was skeptical when I saw his kit before he released. I was like, there is no way that Hoyoverse is going to bring in such a broken DPS. And honestly, I've used him in every Spiral Abyss since he's come out and never had a problem. Every like event fight I do, never had a problem. Every time I could use him, even as a trial character in events, never had a problem. He is that dang good. And it's hard to say no to the best DPS in the game. I will tell you right now, you can't like summon for him. He's just really, really good. And there's a lot of people that might disagree with me. And I'm gonna go over that here in just a moment. But you have two of the best units in the game with Kazuha and Neuvillette, right? We're that much closer to Arlecchino. People will probably be like, don't summon for Neuvillette, don't summon for Kazuha, wait until Arlecchino comes out. And trust me, I am a stan for Arlecchino. Dude, I've been barking for Arlecchino. It's the fear of the unknown for me. Because if I'm looking at this from a new player standpoint, I'm looking at all the positive reviews between Kazuha and Neuvillette, right? Both of them. I'm like, dang, if I haven't a Primo Gem since I started playing, I could go for both, maybe a C1 Kazuha and a C0 Neuvillette, and I'll be perfectly fine. And they work perfect together. But there's this Arlecchino character, and I have no idea what she's gonna do if I'm not paying attention to leaks or anything. Should I wait and summon for Arlecchino? In my opinion, no. I think that you should be summoning for both of these characters. Kazuha is the best support in the game. Neuvillette is the best DPS in the game. They knew exactly what they were doing. They want you to spend money so that when Arlecchino comes out, you're gonna freaking spend more money and buy another character that's gonna be probably really, really good. Because Arlecchino has been hyped since the start of Fontaine. Like, she's even before that, when she was in the trailer for the Harbingers. But I think Kazuha is a must summon. 100%. He should be in your box. I think Neuvillette is a must summon. He must be in your box. Yes, the 4 stars suck, but going for Neuvillette and Kazuha is almost a must in my opinion. He makes both of them make your account that much better, in my opinion. If Arlecchino comes out and poops on both of them, then sorry, I gave you the wrong advice, but from all my experience playing since day 1 of this game, Neuvillette and Kazuha are 2 of the best units in the game that you should be summoning for 100%. And that's going to be it for today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and check out GamerSubs right there. Make sure to use code TYSTER for 10% off. And let me know in the comments down below, are you summoning for Neuvillette or Kazuha? And which one specifically are you summoning for first? Have you pulled any of them? And what are your takes on both these characters? Definitely would love to hear some other opinions out there. But of course, that's going to be it for today. Like, comment, subscribe. And as always, we will catch you in the next video. Please take care and be safe.